Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with My Hero Academia. Last time on My Hero Academia, we had Tartarus, where the all-for-one that's within Shigaraki's body, which when you put that in a different context sounds weird, he took his 7 Nomu and infiltrated Tartarus, and the guards at Tartarus were kind of dumb and didn't just immediately execute the all-for-one that's in there, but that's beside the point, I guess. I don't know, human rights or some shit. That probably sounds bad in different contexts, too. Anyway. But All For One and All For One managed to escape, while a bunch of other prisoners, Muscular, Stain, Overhaul, and Purple Girl from the intro all managed to escape, and then they raided a bunch of other prisons and helped people escape from there. And, yeah, things are just not good. And All For One is, looking out over the horizon, or in the general direction of the horizon. I mean, technically he can't really see it. He doesn't have eyes because All Might beat the shit out of him. And so he's looking, he thinks he's looking out at the sunrise, and he's saying that, yes, I shall be the demon lord of this world, while he's carrying his, life alert and stuff on his back. And it's like, all right, you do you, old man. You do you. So, there's that. Meanwhile, Spinner is like, what the fuck is happening, And he's like, you're not Shigaraki. And All For One, the All For One in Shigaraki, All For One 2, is like, oh, don't worry. I care about Shigaraki, about Tomura. His needs are my own. Despite the fact that he's literally possessed his body, Yeah. So there's that. And as I was thinking about it, when he says oh, you are the next me, it's like, well, yeah, because you possessed his body, you bastard. And it's like, I don't know why I'm expecting an honor among thieves or something, but I don't know. All For One's been ruined is basically what I'm at. Anyway, back at the hospital, everybody's dying slowly. I mean, everybody's recovering enough. Shoto is awake, but he can't talk because he got burns in his throat. I don't even know how the hell that happened. But yeah, Bakugo finally woke up, and Deku has not woken up, but Bakugo is on his way to wake him the fuck up. So there's that, at least. I don't know. That's pretty much where we're at. Look, I can see today's title here on Crunchyroll, so we're not going to have a good time, but whatever. Let's go ahead. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So why don't we just go ahead and jump right into this episode of My Hero Academia. Here we go. Alright. Well, something. Hawks, he's determined. He is determined that he will help the Todoroki family. I mean, you gotta remember about his original dream, The dream he shared where, heroes have too much time on their hands, Which, that means that heroes, don't have to fight villains so often. So yeah, Hawks, he's gonna get in there. He's gonna help his boy. He's gonna help his hero. Did Ray get a new voice actor, by the way? Mrs. Todoroki, did she get a new voice? I don't know. Sounds a little different. I guess I can look it up. I have the power to look it up. I don't know. Maybe it's just that she sounds a bit more confident. Maybe that's it. It's probably the same voice, but man, to have her go to him, he's so completely broken now. She needs to help him, which, I'm curious. I have to say that even in all this depressing stuff that I talk about, I still really enjoy Endeavor's story, that part is the most interesting to me. That kind of keeps me here, It just, like, I don't think anything's going to show, like, oh, she died or something like that. No, okay, it seems to be the same voice actress. The next question is, have I heard her in anything else? Morgan Garrett. Let me look. No. No, I haven't. I mean, if I watch the dub of Tomo-chan as a girl, then yeah. But I don't. I watch the sub version of that, unfortunately. I say unfortunately. I'm enjoying the sub version. Anyway. No, I guess it's just she's more confident, so it threw me off. So, well, good for her. Good for her. I like that, honestly. And yeah, honestly, even though, yes, the Todoroki family, they're like one of the most depressing things on God's great earth. God, they're fascinating. And Endeavor's story and, like, his journey through redemption, I like that it's not a cut and dry redemption, you know? And even when things were starting to get better, boom, Toya, you know? Boom, Toya. Now you have to deal with Toya. And that's a problem. That is a problem. But that's the interesting stuff. That's the really, really interesting stuff. Forget All For One. Forget about him. He got his ass kicked in Season 3. I don't care. Endeavor. Ever since the end of Season 4, Season 4, I would say. Season 4 onward, like, Endeavor's really picked up because we had a lot with the special courses that Todoroki and Bakugo were taking, along with what was his name? The fucking air guy from Shiketsu. I remember Shiketsu, I don't remember his name. I don't remember. Damn it. I don't remember his name, but he had to go through a whole thing because he hated Endeavor, you know? So honestly, like, I am like really interested in the Endeavor story, and especially too because you guys, well, not all of you guys, but I remember I got a comment once. This had to have been in Season 5. Yeah, it was during Season 5. I think it was when we had, I guess, the first Hellish Todoroki family episode. But one of you guys talked about the sort of conflict of watching a story like this about Endeavor having gone through something similar with a similar sort of abusive parent. And I'm not gonna like call anybody out here, but it was interesting. I really enjoyed your comment. If you remember who you are, I'm sure you remember who you are if you're still watching. But if you're still out there, I really enjoyed your comment. It was really thought provoking. Basically, I don't know why I said it like that, but whatever. Anyway. But it's thought-provoking because you really have to think about something like that with Endeavor, you know? But I like that the show's not treating it as a sort of cut-and-dry thing, like, Endeavor bad, Endeavor, now he's good, you know? Because it's kind of something, I'm going to bring this up. Avatar. The Last Airbender, not the blue people. Avatar The Last Airbender, that has such a great redemption story with Zuko, you know? And I see a lot of people who want a redemption story for Azula. And I don't really get behind that, you know? Like, I don't think she really needs one, but I'm interested in a good Azula story, you know? Not, you don't have to keep her being the almost cartoony bad guy. You can keep her like that, but add some layers, do something with the character that's interesting. And for the most part, the show does. I haven't really gotten into the comics that much, but the show really does, and I'm okay with that. And here, so see, I'd rather have that than just, oh, now she's good, now she's hanging out at Iroh's tea shop with everybody and everything's all fine and good and stuff. And it's like, well, you can't really do that, I think. Now granted, I'm also watching Demon Slayer right now, and, like, every other demon that Tanjiro kills, like, they show the humanity within them. Again, it doesn't excuse what they've done. A lot of those demons, kill people, but they show it's not just cut and dry. And I like that they're doing that with Endeavor. It's not just cut and dry, Endeavor bad, Endeavor good, none of that. It wasn't, he does this one thing and now he's redeemed, It's always been a struggle, a back and forth with it, There have been times where, Shoto is like, well, yeah, I'm proud of the number one hero. He fought well. I didn't want him to die. But still, he says, as my father, jury's still out on that, And if anything, of the four of them, of the four kids, where, each of the four kids kind of has a different thing with Endeavor, The fact that Toya, I don't know, I don't want to start comparing, who was abused more, Shoto or Toya. It doesn't matter. But the point is that Toya suffered, and he lost his mind because of it, Fuyumi wasn't, because she never had a fire quirk, so she was never trained or abused by Endeavor. She was just neglected. So she looks at this and she wants to she wants to try to make things better. She wants to mend it, but she acknowledges that there are a lot of problems between them and their father, She acknowledges that, but she wants things to get better. And she's even said, there are times where, I have those thoughts of hating you, But she tries to make things better. Natsuo, again, like Fuyumi, Natsuo, I don't think was abused, just neglected. But all those feelings, everything that happened to Shoto and everything that happened to Toya, and especially now probably, he kind of takes those on himself too, And again, not that Fuyumi doesn't, but it's almost as if Fuyumi can, maybe just because she's older, she has had more time to think and move on from this, or grow from this, and Natsuo hasn't yet. He just hasn't, had that opportunity. He could start, but it's still going to be difficult for him. Shoto's the probably the most interesting one, because he has still dealt with his father even recently in the tournament, in the sports festival. And while he can respect Endeavor as a pro hero, as his father, it is still very difficult for him. So he's got the most conflict, I feel like. And then you have Rei. Rei, who I don't want to say abused by proxy, because she was straight abused, but still, she lost her mind in another way, in a similar manner to Toya, But now here, she's had so much great help, and I think having talked to Shoto and Fuyumi and Natsuo recently, they've been seeing each other a lot, probably has helped her a lot. And so now we get the reverse of it, where she has more, I would say, confidence. She's holding things together a bit more. And Endeavor is the one breaking apart, and that is just so interesting. And here, even though, they kind of give it a little bit of a comedic effect when, it cuts to Shoto and he's like, oh shit, he's crying. Nope. And, they give it a slight bit of a comedic effect, but then they really let it play out that, Endeavor cries. When the fuck does this guy cry, And again, it's not even... because all of this is, has rippling consequences on the heroes of this world. But even still, his biggest thing is, it's about his family, He cannot fight his son. And that's what Shoto already thought, is that if the old man's not going to do this, I have to be the one to defeat Toya, And so, just that moment where, he has felt his remorse over all this stuff, but just that breakdown into tears. That shit is so good. I don't give a shit about All for One and his life alert and his bullshit. This shit is interesting. And by extension, I'm going to throw that to Hawks too. So I've really enjoyed this episode, actually, because Hawks, again, someone who came from, I mean, you could compare Hawks to Toya to an extent. Just, I guess, worse living conditions, I guess you could say. But, I mean, just the fact that, his father was a maniac. Killed a man over a small amount of money, Killed a man over a small amount of money, and then would abuse him, hated that his son was born, tried using him, just wanted to just use him as a thief, basically. You have the mother who's so fucking out of it, Jesus Christ, but through all of that, the day that he learns, his dad was arrested by Endeavor, this hero, someone who he probably, to a kid, these heroes, they're kind of like gods, but now that god has come into his life, and suddenly, oh god, excuse me, I'm burping now, suddenly, all of that is real, and it gives him hope. It gives him hope, even though he wasn't there. Like, you would honestly expect something like that there would be this big dramatic thing that happens in the house or anything like that. It's like, no, that happened in the city, and Hawks just heard about it, And it was through that he wanted to help people. He wanted to become a hero, and he even looks at, someone like Twice. Twice is now a regret to him, because that wasn't right. He ended up having no choice, but he will forever, I think, regret killing Twice, He wants to do what's right. And the other part of that regret is his mother, The fact that, he wanted to go off and help people and become this hero, but in doing so, he abandoned his mother and never really tried to help her. Yeah, he does regret that. And that is really, really interesting. And now he's looking at everything, like he's going to have to face his own origin. He's got to face this, this sort of darkness. But he knows he's going to make it through this darkness. And he knows that Endeavor is probably dealing with a darkness that's way worse, Because Hawks, he may have even dealt with it a long time ago. It sounds like his mother, it sounds like his mother was able to, rehabilitate herself to an extent, where she says she's sorry that she gave up this information. She apologizes to Hawks and says she's proud of him, So clearly she was able to, rehabilitate herself a bit. So now Hawks, while yes, he has to face this darkness again about himself, he will get through this, and he will help Endeavor through this, because he's not going to give up on that dream. He is not going to give up on that dream. But apparently, there are those out there who will, because a lot of heroes have retired. Are you fucking kidding me? Really? These dumb motherfuckers are retiring? How fucking dare? How dare, was it Yoroi, Moshi, or whoever the fuck? Cut your beard and mustache off. You damn bastard. Retiring. You're no hero. All you're doing is fueling the villains, including fucking Stain. Stain's out and about now. Hooray. God damn it. God, I want there to be some way for Overhaul to get his arms back, just because I enjoy Overhaul so much more, And there's also Vigilantes now. Vigilantes getting support gear from, I guess, Detnerat, even though, well, I don't know. Where is Redestro now? Because, I mean, he was captured, but they also busted out a bunch. I mean, I think they would have said specifically if they had been captured, or if they had been freed by All for One. But yeah, the people going out with, as vigilantes, but they're untrained and they're going against chaotic villains, and yeah, it's resulting in a lot of collateral. And heroes show up too late. Heroes like Wash show up too late and get belittled for it, you know? And so, yeah, there's that shit, though. Again, the whole stuff with All For One, I'm not fully invested in it, or some of the other, collateral that's happening. But I will say the Endeavor stuff, even though, yes, I admit it's depressing. I admit the Endeavor stuff is depressing. But it's just so interesting, The Endeavor Hawk stuff is so interesting. So I'm okay with that. Maybe because there's some shred of hope, Like Shoto. Shoto is looking at this like, okay, well, I'll have to face Toya, I'll have to do this myself then. And even if Endeavor is in conflict, there's something there. He has his family. He does have race. Something's gonna happen, He has Hawks, Meanwhile, like, Deku's been doing so much this season, and I can't name a single thing he's done. Like, I've lost all interest in him. It's like, now let's go to Bakugo, who's gonna go out and, go out and do what he's gotta do. I don't know. Something about Deku, it's like, I've stopped caring. Like, now let's stick with all these other characters, Yeah, it's kind of the Attack on Titan syndrome, where Eren Yeager was so fucking uninteresting that they had to make him the villain. But you can't do that with Deku, so I don't know what we do now. But that was the whole thing in Attack on Titan, is that all the other characters were way more interesting than Eren ever was. And now that's just sort of turned into My Hero, where I used to like Deku. I used to really enjoy Deku. But now I'm looking at this like, Bakugo, Uraraka, Sue, Endeavor, Hawks, Best Jeanist, all that's interesting. I will say, I'm kind of disappointed that the suit that Best Jeanist was wearing didn't cover his face. Because I was thinking today, it's like, man, I hope we never see his face. But now we saw it. I was hoping that it would just be like a normal suit, but like his shirt just like goes all the way up. The tie is right here. That would have been funny. But yeah. But yeah. Alright, so after 15 episodes of misery, even though it's still depressing what's going on with Hawks and Endeavor, I'm way more interested in that, honestly. So hey, I liked an episode this season. Yay. We're all good now. I mean, we're not all good. I'm sure shit's gonna go down. I don't know. We'll have to see. But good episode. I did enjoy this, and I'm not excited to get in the next episode, but I'll see you guys next week. That's basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist for all of My Hero Academia reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.